Welcome back. You're still watching Network Africa on Channels Television. Now we understand, as I told you earlier on, that Uganda has seen a sharp increase in police violence. The situation has intensified to the point that rights groups like Amnesty International is calling for investigations into reported incidents of police beatings. Local sources say the indiscriminate violence of the Ugandan police is being channeled towards supporters, curious onlookers, and even bystanders who they find on the road as they follow former presidential candidate Kizza Besigye. Let's get more clarity on what's going on from Ugandan journalist Joshua Poro, who joins us from Kampala. Joshua, thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure is all mine.
For a minute, it looked as though things were getting back to normal in Uganda. Now we hear that the brutality of the police is intensifying, and it's being directed specifically to supporters of Kizza Besigye. What's going on?
Now, if you say, for example, things look like they were getting normal, in Uganda things never get normal. They just slow down a little bit and then they reoccur again. Now, if you recall, Dr. Kizza Besigye was in prison for some time, but he was released. Now, on the day that Dr. Besigye was released from jail, as usual, his supporters went there to welcome him and walk with him in the streets. There was no demonstration. Yesterday, the president was speaking and he said supporters of Dr. Besigye are always demonstrating legally, but there was no demonstration. These supporters were just welcoming Dr. Besigye back from prison and escorting him to his home. And before we know it, the police shows up with sticks used for grazing cattle, extra long, very hard and studded sticks, and started beating the supporters of Dr. Kizza Besigye. As if that was not enough, all bystanders on the roadside were beaten. You're doing nothing, just standing by the roadside, looking at the procession. They were beaten until recently, about 4 days ago, a police pickup or patrol car decided to drive by the roadside, knocked a man, stepped on him, and proceeded. Now, another security official who was just running on foot came by and kicked him. The most surprising thing is even our officials in government are supporting this. People who are supposed to be in power for the will of the people are supporting police brutality against the citizenry. That is absolutely so wrong.
Now, Joshua, we also understand that in a bid to save face, some police officers were publicly tried in a disciplinary court. Was there any outcome that was positive? Because analysts actually say the action did not deter those in question.
That is, if there was any action anyway, because you see, for the first time, junior police officers were brought to trial. That is what we call a kangaroo court, okay? That is it's just constituted for that purpose. Now, junior police officers, corporals, without any ranks were brought. When there was an outcry by the members of the public to say that, listen, the people who perpetrated this crime, the police officers who beat these guys, were actually taking orders from somebody. Now, where are those who gave the orders? And that is when one or two, actually two senior police officers were brought to trial. But there were no any actions taken. If there were actions taken, I'm sure I would be aware because I'm a journalist in this country and I attend these processions, but there were no actions taken. Is that what you call action? Let them be sent to jail. Let them pay for their crimes. There has been a lot of police brutality in this country. And members of the public are coming out to say that instead of having the police as an entire force being looked at, let's have these personal, individual police officers brought to justice, and that is when police brutality will stop. So no action was issued that actually can stop or reduce police brutality.
Joshua, you mentioned what the public, the Ugandan public is coming out to say, but has there been any reaction from the office of the president?
Yesterday, the president actually made an entire speech and he blamed the police brutality on Dr. Besigye. He alleged that it's Dr. Besigye who wants to riot without police permission. About a year ago, a law was passed in Parliament. It's called the Public Order Management Act, where members of the public, as long as you're going to get involved in a meeting of more than 5 people, you are supposed to inform the Inspector General of Police so that police can offer you protection. That means even if you're planning to have a wedding meeting, you should inform the police, because that's a meeting in a public place of more than 5 people. If you're supposed to have a funeral, most probably you're supposed to inform the Inspector General of Police. Now, this was very unreasonable. It was very uncouth and as unwise of those who tabled and passed it. Now, the president does say that Dr. Besigye holds rallies without informing the police. I mean, how is he supposed to inform the police when every time he informs the police, he's being shut down? The police is a very partisan police. Okay, and the head of the police, that is the Inspector General of Police, is a cadet in the NRM regime. So you cannot say that you expect it to be partial. So when the president comes out and blames the police brutality on Dr. Besigye, then most probably there is a problem. But also in our constitution, we have a right to assembly. We have a right to, or a freedom to speech. Where did all these rights go? Did the passing of the Public Order Management Act reduce or remove the right of the citizenry of this country to assemble? I think the president either is briefed wrongly or has no information, or he is just ignoring the issue of police brutality and imagining that the constitution does not exist. But in the constitution of this country, we have a right to assemble, and nobody should deprive the citizens of this country of that right.
That's well said, Joshua. You've mentioned what's in the Constitution. You've mentioned that the president is blaming all this police brutality on Dr. Besigye. But what is the president doing to salvage the situation? We found the cause. What's happening?
Well, I don't think it can be any different, because if I'm not sure, maybe some of these orders are even from the police. It's like the police telling us that we are investigating police brutality. How can the police investigate itself? There is definitely going to be a conflict of interest. All these people are acting in good capacity to keep the president in power. So there is nothing that I can guarantee you the president is going to do. The president did say, however, that the sticks that were used to beat members of the public were wrong, because these are sticks that are used to graze cattle. However, there are baton stocks that are supposed to be used for, by police to defend themselves, as well as the shields that the police should use to defend themselves. So the president actually does support police beating up members of the public, but using a different kind of stick, which is the baton. So I don't think
Joshua, this is indeed a developing story, and you can trust they'll be reaching out to you in the course of the week to find out what is going on as regards this. Thank you very much for your time on Network Africa. And on that note, we'd like to say thank you for joining us on the program today. I'm Cynthia Are.